Oh, Misha, for God's sake, you scared me. I'm upset as it is, and you here with your stupid jokes. You've scared me, and you're so pleased with yourself. All right, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Ugh, it's hot. Can you believe, dear boy, I've just knocked off 12 miles in only 3 hours. I'm tired out. Here, feel my heart beating. Fine, later. No, feel it now. Can you hear it? Thump, thump, thump. That means I have a heart murmur, and I can die suddenly at any moment. Tell me, will you feel sorry if I die? I'm reading now. Later. No, seriously, will you feel sorry if I die suddenly? Nikolai Alexeyevich, will you feel sorry if I die? Don't bother me. Please, dear man, tell me. Will you feel sorry or not? I'm sorry that you smell vodka. Misha, that's disgusting. Does it really smell? That's most unusual. But really, there's nothing unusual about it. In Plesniki, I bumped into a prosecutor, and we downed, I confess, 8 shots each or so. Strictly speaking, of course, drinking is very bad for you. It's bad for you, isn't it? Is it bad? This is unbearable. Misha, don't you see this mockery? All right, all right. My fault. My fault. Never mind. Fine, you can sit here by yourself. You people are amazing. Can't even talk to you. Oh, yes. I almost forgot. 82 rubles, please. What 82 rubles? To pay the workers tomorrow. I don't have it. Much obliged. I don't have it. Do we need to pay the workers? Do we? I don't know. I don't have anything today. Wait till the 1st of the month when I get my salary. Try talking to your kind of people. The workers are coming for the money, not on the 1st of the month, but tomorrow morning. Then what can I do now? Rake me over the coals. And what a revolting habit you have of bothering me just as I sit down to read or write. Tell me, do we need to pay the workers or not? Eck, that's what I'm talking about. Some estate owners, damn it, landowners, efficient farming. 2,000 acres, and not a kopeck in his pocket. He has a wine cellar and no corkscrew. And what if I sell the troika tomorrow? I will. I've already sold the oats in the field, and tomorrow I'll sell the rye. You think I'm going to stand on ceremony with you, do you? You've got the wrong fellow. Who was that conversing just now? Was that you, Misha? Why are you marching like that? Your Nicolas Voila will make you pick up the pace. Misha, tell them to put hay on the croquet lawn. Leave me alone, please. Listen to that tone of voice. It's not becoming to you at all. If you want women to like you, don't ever get angry in their presence, and don't put on airs. Nikolai, let's go gamble in the hay. Anyuta, it's bad for you to stand by the open window. Get away, please. Uncle, shut the window. And don't forget also that in 2 days you need to pay the interest to Lebedev. I know. I'll be at Lebedev's today and I'll ask him to wait. When are you going there? Now, wait. Isn't today Shirochka's birthday? And I forgot. You call that memory. I'll go. I will. I'm going. I'll go take a bath. Chew through some paperwork, take 3 drops of ammonia, and I'll be as good as new. My dearest and sweetest Nikolai Alexeyevich, sweetheart, you're always fretting, whining, always in Gloomlandia. But just think how much you and I could accomplish together. I'd do anything for you. Do you want me to marry Marfa Babakina? Take half of her dowry? No, not half. All of it. Take it all. Stop spewing nonsense. No, seriously. Do you want me to marry Marfusha? The dowry, 50-50. But why am I telling you this? Can you even grasp this? Stop spewing nonsense. You're a good man, intelligent, but you don't have what it takes. No gumption, so to speak. If only we would spread our wings, make the devil himself jealous. You are crazy, a crybaby. But if you were a normal person, you'd have 1,000,000 in a year. For instance, if I had 2,300 rubles now, I'd have 200,000 in 2 weeks. You don't believe me? You think it's all nonsense? No, it's not nonsense. Give me 2,300 rubles, and I'll deliver 20,000 in a week, just across the river. Osinov's selling a strip of land directly across from us for 2,300 rubles. If we buy it, then both river banks will be ours. And if both river banks are ours, then you see we have a right to build a dam. Isn't that right? We'll build a mill. And as soon as we announce that we are putting a dam here, then everybody who lives down the river will cry Gewalt. And we'll say, Kommen Sie. If you don't want a dam, then pay up. You get it? The Zarevsky factory will give us 5,000. Korotkov, 3,000. And the monastery will give 5,000. Misha, that's all shenanigans. If you don't want us to have a falling out, keep them to yourself. Of course, I knew it. You are not doing anything yourself, only tying my hands. Doctors are the same as lawyers, the only difference being that lawyers only rob you while doctors rob you and kill you. Present company accepted. Charlatans, exploiters, perhaps somewhere in Arcadia you can find an exception to the rule, but I've spent 20,000 on treatments, and I have yet to meet a doctor who didn't strike me as a bona fide crook. Well, you're not doing anything yourself, only tying my hands. That's why we've got no money. Again, present company accepted. Maybe there are exceptions, although... What can you tell us, doctor? Same thing as I told you this morning. She needs to go to the Crimea immediately. To the Crimea? Misha! Why shouldn't you and I treat patients? It's so easy. Every time Madame Ango or Ophelia gets a scratchy throat or starts coughing out of boredom, you take out a piece of paper and, in keeping with the laws of science, start prescribing first a young doctor, then a trip to Crimea, and in the Crimea, a young tatter. Oh, stop droning, you drone. Going to the Crimea requires money. Even if, suppose I find the money, she absolutely refuses to go. Yes, she does. Listen, doctor, is Anna Petrovna really so sick that she must go to the Crimea? Yes, she has consumption. Oh, that's not good. I've noticed a while back, just by looking at her face, that she isn't long for this world. But talk softly. You can hear it from the house. Ah, this life of ours. It's like a flower, budding sumptuously in a field. Then along comes a jackass, eats it, and there's no more flower. That's such nonsense, sheer nonsense. That's just nonsense, and more of your schemes. Meanwhile, a gentleman I've been teaching, Nikolai Alexeyevich, how to make money. I've shared a great idea with him, but as usual, the gunpowder fell on damp soil. I can't drill it into him. Look at him, melancholy, spleen, sorrow, grief, and hopelessness. You brilliant noggin are always coming up with schemes and teaching everyone but me how to live. Big brain, tell me how to live. Show me the way. I'm off to take a dip. Goodbye, gentlemen. You've got 20 ways out. If I were you, I'd have 20,000 in a week. How's that? Come on, teach me. There's nothing to teach. It's very simple. Nikolai Alexeyevich, give me a ruble. Merci. You are still holding many trump cards. Well, which ones? If I were you, I'd have 30,000 in a week, if not more. These superfluous people, superfluous talk, responding to stupid questions. Doctor, all this has exhausted me to the point of illness. I've become irritable, short-tempered, brusque, and petty to the point that I no longer recognize myself. I have headaches for days on end, insomnia ringing in my ears, and there is no escape, positively none. None. I need to have a serious talk with you, Nikolai Alexeyevich. Talk. It's about Anna Petrovna. She refuses to go to the Crimea, but she would go with you. Going together requires money. Besides, they won't give me a long vacation. I'm already used up my vacation this year. Let's assume that it's true. Now, furthermore, the most important medicine for consumption is complete rest, and your wife doesn't know a moment's peace. She's worried constantly about your feelings towards her. Forgive me, I'm upset and will speak frankly. Your behavior is killing her. Nikolai Alexeyevich, I'd like to think better of you. That's all true. It is probably my fault, but my thoughts are all confused. My heart's paralyzed with laziness, and I'm incapable of understanding myself. I don't understand other people or myself. Someone could overhear us. Let's take a walk. My dear friend, I'd tell it to you from the very beginning, but the story is long and complicated, and it'll take all night. Anyuta is a remarkable and extraordinary woman. She converted, left her mother and father and all her riches for me, and were I to ask her for another 100 and such sacrifices, she would do it without batting an eye. Well, whereas there's nothing remarkable about me. I've made no sacrifices, although it's a long story. The point of it is, my dear doctor, that, in short, I got married because I was passionately in love, and I swore to love her forever, but 5 years later, she still loves me, whereas Here. You're telling me that she's dying, but I don't feel love or pity. I feel a kind of emptiness and exhaustion. From the outside, I must look awful, but I myself don't understand what's happening to my soul. I swear the man is not a crook, but a great thinker, a virtuoso. He deserves a monument. He combines modern-day pus in all its varieties. A lawyer, a doctor, a scrounger, and a cashier. And come to think of it, he never went to the university. That's what's amazing. Just think what a genius of a scoundrel he could have been had he studied the humanities and absorbed a little culture. He says, you could have 20,000 in a week, you still have your trump ace, your title count. Any bride with a dowry would marry you. Would you like me to fix you up with Marfa, he says. Qui est-ce que c'est Marfusha? Oh, that Marfusha, Balabulkina, the one who looks like a washerwoman. Count, is that you? What is it? Why are you laughing? I just remembered something you said. Remember what you said at lunch? A pardoned thief, a horse. How does it go? A christened yid, a pardoned thief, and a crippled steed are all the same. You can't even make simple wordplay without spite. You're a spiteful person. Count, I'm not joking. You're very mean. Living in the same house with you is both boring and terrifying. Always grumbling, complaining, and everybody's always either a rascal or a scoundrel. Tell me honestly, Count, have you ever spoken well of anybody? What kind of an examination is this? We've been living together under the same roof for 5 years, and I've yet to hear you speak nicely of people, without spitefulness or derision. What have people ever done to you? Do you really think that you're so much better than everybody? I don't think that at all. I think I'm just as much a pig in a skullcap and a rascal like the rest of them. Mauvais ton. And a has-been. I always chew myself out. Who am I? What am I? I used to be rich, free, and a little happy, but now a freeloader, a sponger, a faceless buffoon. I get indignant. I despise them. And they respond by laughing in my face. I laugh, and they nod their heads mournfully and say, the old man's off his rocker. But most of the time they don't hear or notice me. Here it goes again. What? The owl, it hoots every evening. Let it hoot. It can't be any worse than it is already. Alas, my dearest Sarah, were I to win 100 or 200,000, I'd show you which end is up. I'd be gone in a flash. I'd leave this hole, this free beard, this free bread, and I wouldn't come back here till the day of reckoning. And if you won, what would you do? First, I'd go to Moscow to hear the gypsies sing. Then, I'd take off for Paris. I'd rent an apartment there, start going to the Russian church there. And what else? I'd spend days at my wife's grave just thinking, and I'd sit there at the grave till I kicked the bucket. My wife's buried in Paris. It's terribly boring. Should we play another duet, maybe? All right, get the sheet music ready. You, my dear friend, graduated only last year, and you're still young and full of energy. I'm already 35. Allow me to give you a piece of advice. Don't marry a Jew or a neurotic or a blue stocking. Instead, choose someone commonplace and ordinary, someone with pastel colors or grace notes. Build your life like a cliché. The more gray and monotonous the background, the better. My dear boy, don't wage war against thousands by yourself. Don't tilt at windmills. Don't bang your head against walls. May God spare you from all this of efficient farming, extraordinary schools, and impassioned speeches. Lock yourself inside your shell and stick to whatever little thing God has set out for you to do. It's warmer, healthier, and more honest that way. Because the life I've been through, it exhausts you. Oh, how it exhausts you. So many mistakes, injustices, and so much absurdity. Uncle, you're always in my face. Won't ever let me have a one-on-one conversation. Oh, God damn. No refuge anywhere. I'm sorry, my fault. Why did I have to insult him? Yes, I'm positively coming undone. I've got to do something about myself. I've got to. Nikolai Alexeyevich, I've listened to you and forgive me, but I'm going to speak frankly and straight to the point. In your voice, in your intonation, not to mention your words, there's so much empty egoism and cold-heartedness. Someone close to you is dying because she's close to you. Her days are numbered. And you don't love. You walk around, give advice, and show off. I can't express it. I don't have the gift for words, but I find you deeply unsympathetic. Maybe you're right. You can see better from the outside. It's very possible that you understand me, but probably it's all very much my fault. I think the horses are ready. I'll go get dressed. Doctor, you don't like me and you don't hide it. That does your heart credit. That damn temperament. Again, I missed the chance to have the right kind of talk with him. I simply can't stay calm when speaking with him. As soon as I open my mouth, I feel that something starts churning and choking me. And the tongue gets stuck in my throat. Oh, I hate that Tartuffe, that high-minded crook with all my heart. There, he's leaving. His poor wife is happy only when he's by her side. She lives and breathes him and begs him to spend an evening with her, but no, he can't do that. He feels crammed and smothered at home. You see, such hopelessness. If he were to spend one evening at home, he might put a bullet through his head. Poor thing. He needs his freedom to do another vile thing. Oh, I know why you go to the Lebedevs every evening. I know. In the end, it's heartless, Nicholas. You go out every evening, and we're left here alone. We go to bed out of boredom at 8 o'clock every evening. It's a disgrace, not a life. And why is it that you can go and we can't? Why? Leave him alone, Count. Let him go, just let him. How can you go anywhere, ill as you are? You're ill and you're not allowed to be outside after sunset. Ask the doctor here. You're not a child, Anyuta. Think about it. And you, what do you want to go there for? To hell itself, into the jaws of crocodiles. Only not to stay here. I'm bored. I've lost my mind from boredom. Everybody's fed up with me. You leave me at home to keep her company, but all I do is gnaw her and eat her alive. Leave him alone, Count. Leave him. Let him go if it amuses him so much. Anya, why this tone of voice? You know that I don't go there to amuse myself. I need to talk to Lebedev about the promissory note. I don't see why you need to justify yourself. Go. Who's stopping you? For God's sake, ladies and gentlemen, let's not devour each other. Is it really that necessary? Nicholas, my dear boy, please take me with you. I'll see the crooks and the fools there, and it may distract me a little. You know that I haven't gone anywhere since Easter. Fine. Let's go. I'm fed up with all of you. Yes? Well, merci, merci. Can I wear your straw hat? Yes, only hurry, please. I'm so fed up with all of you. But no, oh my God, what am I saying? Anya, the tone I use with you is completely uncalled for. I never used to be like this. Well, goodbye, Anya. I'll be back around 1. Kolya, my dear, stay home. My darling. My love, my poor girl, I beg you, don't prevent me from going out in the evening. It's cruel and unfair of me, but allow me this unfairness. Staying at home is torture for me. As soon as the sun goes down, I feel hopeless, so hopeless. Don't ask me what causes it. I don't know myself, I swear I don't. I feel it here, and then at the Lebedev's I feel it even worse. I come back home and I feel it here again, and it's like this all night long. It's utter torture. Kolya, why don't you stay? We'll talk as before. We'll have supper together, and then we'll read. The grumbler and I have learned many duets for you. Stay. I don't understand you. It's been going on for a year now. Why have you changed so much? I don't know. I don't know. And why don't you want me to go out with you in the evening? If you need to know, then I'll tell you. It's a little cruel to be saying this, but it's better to say it. When I feel hopeless, then I stop loving you. I run away from you as well. In other words, I have to leave the house. Hopeless. I see. You know, Kolya, try to sing and laugh and get upset as before. Stay and we'll laugh, drink brandy, and we'll chase away your hopelessness in no time. Do you want me to sing? Or let's go sit in your study in the darkness, like we used to, and you'll tell me all about why you feel hopeless. You've such doleful eyes. I'll look into them and cry, and we'll both feel better. Or Kolya, how does it go? The flowers repeat themselves every spring, but the joys don't. Yes? Well then go. Pray to God for me, Anya. No, I can't. Oh then. Anna Petrovna, make it a rule. As soon as the clock strikes 6, go inside and don't come out till morning. The evening dampness is bad for you. Yes, sir. What's this? Yes, sir, I'm serious. But I don't want to be serious. See, you're coughing already. Where is Nikolai? And the horse is ready. Are the horses ready? Sleep well, my lovely. Gewalt. Excuse me, please. Buffoon. It's so boring. There, the coachman and the cooks are having a ball, and I'm like abandoned. Jenny Kostanovich, what are you doing marching there? Come over here and sit down. I can't stay seated. They're playing a game in the kitchen. Siskin, where are you? Down the hill, I drank a few. Doctor, do you still have your mother and father? My father died, but my mother's still alive. Do you miss your mother? I've no time to miss her. The flowers repeat themselves every spring, but the joys don't. Who told me this? God, who was it? I think it was Nikolai himself. The owl's hooting again. So let it hoot. I'm beginning to think, Doctor, that life has shortchanged me somehow. Millions of people who may not be better than me are happy and don't pay anything for their happiness. I, on the other hand, have paid for everything, decidedly for everything, and so dearly, too. Why charge me such exorbitant interest? My dear, you're all so careful with me, mincing your words, afraid to speak the truth. But do you think I don't know what my illness is? I know it perfectly well. Anyway, talking about it is boring. Excuse me, please. Do you know how to tell jokes? No, I don't. And Nikolai does. And it's beginning to amaze me just how unfair people can be. Why not respond to love with love, and why do they pay for truth with lies? Tell me, how long will my mother and father hate me? They live 55 miles away, and yet day and night, and even in my sleep, I sense their hatred. And what am I supposed to make out of Nikolai's feeling hopeless? He says that he doesn't love me only in the evenings, when he's feeling hopeless. I understand and accept it, but imagine how stopped loving me altogether. Of course, that's impossible. But what if? No, I shouldn't even think about it. Siskin, where are you? Oh, what scary thoughts I have. Doctor, you aren't married and you can't yet understand. You are amazed. No, I'm amazed by you, but you surprise me. Well, tell me. Spell it out for me. How did someone smart, honest, practically a saint, allow herself to be so openly lied to and dragged into this den of thieves? Why are you here? What do you have in common with this cold and heartless... But enough about your husband. What do you have in common with this vulgar and vapid Milou? My God. And this perpetually grumbling, rusted out and crazy counter, that old weasel Misha, that crook of all crooks with his foul face. Explain it to me. Why are you here? How did you end up here? He used to say the same thing, exactly the same, only his eyes are big, and when he gets excited talking about something, they glow like coals. Keep talking, keep talking. What can I say? Go inside. You say that Nikolai is this, that, and the other. How can you possibly know him? Do you think you can get to know someone in half a year? Doctor, he's a remarkable man. And I'm so sorry you don't know him 2 or 3 years ago. He's out of sorts. Says nothing, does nothing, but before, it was so lovely. I fell in love with him at first sight. I took one look at him and the mousetrap went slam. He said, come. I cut myself off from everybody. Like, you cut off rotten leaves with scissors and came. But now something's not right. Now he goes to the Lebedevs to distract himself with other women, and I sit in the garden listening to the owls hooting. Tell me, doctor, you have any brothers? No. What's wrong now? What is it? Doctor, I can't. I'll go there. Where? Where he is. I'll go. Tell them to harness the horses. No. I absolutely refuse to treat anyone under these conditions. Not only are they not paying me a kopeck, but they're turning my soul inside out. No, I refuse. Enough.